Okay guys, today I'm working on a 2014 Altima S 2.5 4-cylinder, and I'm gonna be doing the valve cover gasket because one of the spark plugs has a lot of oil in it, but I have to do the whole valve cover because the tube seals are not serviceable. So here we are. First things first is get a piece of wood, which I already have on my jack, and go on the pan, the oil pan, and raise it up a little bit to support the whole engine because we're going to be taking the motor mounts stuff over here. So we're going to be removing all of these bolts over there to that one, and then we're going to move on to all of these with the electrical and spark plugs and the ignition. Also, of course, I have to remove this cover first thing first, then of course disconnect your batteries negative. See, ignition coils. Gotta take out the coolant reservoir for that bolt right there. Now the brackets are off, everything's clear here. We can start taking off hoses and everything else around. And this hose has turned so hard and brittle that if I try to break it loose from the orange piece, which is the PCV valve, it may break. So I'm gonna be taking it off with the PCV valve off. Alright, now I just move it out of the way, and now we're gonna disconnect these sensors here and everything electrical. Actually, no need to disconnect these since they're not on top of the valve cover. Just move this thing out of the way. Alright, I had to remove it completely because of that little lip in the end wouldn't let me move it out of the way. So now it's time to remove all the bolts around it and finally get to taking it out. Alright, now they're all loose. I can pull them out. There's 10 of them. And I'm gonna make a little map over here, diagram, to put them in order where I pulled them from, so I can put them back on the new gasket. I mean valve cover. See, here it is. Easy peasy. See, I use this pry tool to go underneath here and pry it up, and it's already coming out. So I'm gonna see, there's the valve cover, and here's what the inside look like. And now it's time to clean all around where the gasket sits, so the new one can sit nice and firm and tight and seal everything good. Right, now that it's cleaned up all around, I did scrape the old gasket maker they had placed on these corners, and already placed new ones in there. But unfortunately it's a little messy because I didn't have a little tip on the tube of the sealant, so help me. But it's on there. It's important you put it on there for the joints on here to seal. Alright, so a Dorman is what came through for us. Let's put the new one on. Alright guys, I got every bolt transferred through, and I finger tied these for a minute so they thread in.